Well, folks, it is Friday, January 3rd, and we have a fresh batch of rumors for you coming over from Family Boards. Now, these rumors technically don't originate there. It'll make sense once we dive into them. They actually come from some supposed insiders, some funkles, some leakers out in China, but we're just going to sit back and take them at face value and obviously treat them the way that all Nintendo Switch 2 rumors should be treated, and that is with a healthy dose of skepticism. I feel weird, I gotta remind people, but rumors aren't facts. Rumors are actually meant to be doubted. So we'll see if there's anything in here that's at least exciting to contemplate and think about. But I do want to leave you with a good message today. It is a new year, so happy new year, and let's try to be better this year in all facets of our life, whatever that means for you individually. That being said, we're on a road to 140,000 subscribers, so I would appreciate if you would go ahead and subscribe to our channel if you're enjoying all the Switch 2 coverage as we look forward to the reveal and eventual release of the platform and all the games and everything else in between. All right, let's go ahead and hop right over to Family Boards here to this post by FWDBWD. And here's what it says. I usually would put a post like this in hide tag, realizing that it'd be on Reddit within minutes anyway. I'm not going to bother. However, I won't include the link to the original message, nor the username of the forum poster. And they actually have a reason for this. What happens is the moment that the individual gets attention at the original source publicly, funny things seem to happen, such as posts getting deleted and people running and hiding. We actually saw this with the Weibo leaker who gave us that January 7th, January 8th potential reveal date for Switch 2. They went ahead, deleted everything, and are saying it means something else that doesn't actually line up with what they said. And look, it was this whole thing where for some reason, when people get noticed in the West, when they're Eastern leakers or Eastern insiders, they seem to run and hide. So I think that this is more so to hope this person continues to post information. Doesn't mean it's reliable. Obviously, we'll leave that up to you guys. So getting back in here, it says, a known insider posted a long message regarding Switch 2 in a Chinese Switch forum. I'm going to only translate the key points instead of the whole 9 yards. Please note that the poster made it very clear that this is only a compilation of Switch 2 rumors that they heard, meaning they can't vouch for their veracity. So remember, something they've heard, but they're not saying it's necessarily true. So it says, major devs have had access to the dev kit for close to 2 years, and indie developers slightly more than 1. I will note on that front that an indie developer reached out to me when I was covering the story about Playtonic Games and stuff, and they noted that they don't have dev kits and they don't know any other indie developers that had dev kits. I would think if there were some that had them, probably a very, very select group, which makes sense for Nintendo keeping the lid on Switch. I mean, think about it. We really, out of all the leaks, we haven't had like game leaks and stuff. We haven't had like system, like OS leaks. And I would say Nintendo's done a pretty good job keeping some of the key things under wraps. So because of that, it would make sense that if some indie devs had it, it's really like 2 or 3 maybe, but whatever. Let's go back to the post here. So it says, dev kit is only a tablet. Joy-Con rails are sealed. The poster thinks that it's an early version. By the way, that's exactly how the dev kit was for the Nintendo Switch. So no real surprise if they're going to go with the same thing. All right. Joy-Cons are not included. Devs use the Joy-Con ones, so the original ones for testing. This suggests that Joy-Cons will have backwards compatibility. They think that the major devs probably received Switch 2 Joy-Cons, so like the big AAA devs. Although the Switch 2 dev kit supports analog triggers, devs don't believe that it's actually going to be used, and this is because the Switch 1 dev kit already supports it as well, and notably it's for GameCube controllers, but it was never used in any official capacity beyond that. I think that they meant SDK, not dev kit, but they translated it the way that they said it. All right, the touchscreen seems more sensitive than before. According to some indie devs, the system workload when running their games is slightly worse than the PlayStation 4 Pro dev kit. They also admitted they didn't do enough optimization. So there is that. The poster emphasized that these indie devs don't know or care about the hardware specs, such as a processing node. The above was their unscientific observation. Some of the indie titles made with the Switch 2 dev kit have already released on Switch 1. The eShop submission page for Switch 2 is the same as Switch 1. This suggests the same eShop for both. There are some outsourced assets that look like cart with a driver's seat and a platform for another version to stand on. They speculate that this could be for a new Mario Kart with one person driving and one person attacking. Hello, Mario Kart Double Dash. That would be kind of cool if they brought that mechanic back. The poster warned that it could be for a different game, such as a new Sonic Racing. Someone overheard that a new Mario 2D game, there's an attempt to recreate a scene from the Mario movie, in which one player is in the foreground and another player, local or remote, in the background to fight through a stage together. There are some outsourced assets that seem to be for Monolith Soft's Project X Zone with Nintendo characters, and it is speculated to be a Smash-like concept. The dev team of ARMS seems to be working on a custom Robo sequel. Assassin's Creed, no details given. I assume that's like Assassin's Creed Shadows coming to Switch 2. Wouldn't really shock me from Ubisoft. They've been very supportive of Nintendo over the years. Going back here, we have no Virtua Fighter 6 for Switch 2, which is unfortunate, but again, just something they've heard. Someone spotted a game that looks like Persona 5R or Persona 5S. Kind of weird they didn't know which one, but you know what? There's so many versions of Persona 5. Hey, just getting Persona 5 at all would be nice there. There was a Capcom internal demo of Resident Evil 7 for Switch 1, but it was eventually canceled. The poster speculated or hinted that the Resident Evil series should come to Switch 2. Then it says mods. Please DM me if you need to verify the source, which I think they did. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not a mod at Family Boards, and then added a note about the analog trigger. So some of the more exciting things when we're looking at this docket is obviously the game stuff. Like all the rest is kind of standard fare. Like, yeah, the old Joy-Cons are still going to work because they work via Bluetooth. I think the exciting stuff is when just focusing on the games, like a Mario 2D game that's trying to create some sort of Mario movie-like scene with someone in the foreground and background. I could see Nintendo playing around with an idea like that. How they would have this direct knowledge of such a thing is beyond me. It's kind of weird that there's some sort of assets floating out there for a potential Mario Kart game. Not that we don't expect a Mario Kart game, but just having those assets out there seems a little bit strange. But yeah, the other third-party news, no surprising, Assassin's Creed, probably Shadows. Sucks about the no Virtual Fighter 6 thing. And yeah, all Resident Evils coming over to Nintendo Switch 2, I do think makes sense. Now, Capcom's been a major partner for Nintendo forever. They're reportedly, the reason we had 4 gigs of RAM in Switch, because they asked Nintendo to put more RAM into it. So that's a report that's never technically been verified, but there you go. Again, all of this is just rumors, and it just adds to the pile of expectations and rumors that exist around this platform for Nintendo Switch 2. We obviously yesterday covered a bunch of stuff with an actual patent from Nintendo that clearly was dealing with DLSS type of upscaling, and we've obviously had rumors about it coming out this month or being released this month, I guess is what I should say. I know I'm one of the sources on that, Nintendo Talk, and some others out there. There's actually at this point like a half dozen or so sources saying that it's going to be revealed this month. So we have that going on. Obviously, we have conflicting things about it coming out in June or May at the earliest, or some people still saying March. I haven't heard anything, so I don't know what to say on that front. I just go, look, I kind of trust Nate to hate. I know we felt a little burned last year when it got delayed after he said it would be revealed in March of 2024. So I get if some people are a little skeptical, but immediately after that, he got a bunch of things right about Xbox. So I'm going to sit back and just go, I don't think he's yanking our chain. I'm pretty sure Nate the Hate knows what he's talking about. So June seems like a more realistic release period for me if I had to bet, but we'll see. I'm just going to sit back and see how these rumors and leaks and all this stuff ends up panning out. One thing I talked about doing last year, and I'm going to bring this into 2025 after Nintendo Switch 2 is revealed, is I'm going to go back and change the thumbnails on a bunch of my rumored and leak videos. So that way we could go over what, the thumbnail will clearly say if this rumor and leak got confirmed once it was announced, or if obviously it's fake, right? So I want to make sure to highlight that in the thumbnails. That way you guys can go back easily yourself and check out which rumors and which leaks were real or not. It's easier for me to do it because I'm the one that made all the damn videos, right? Now, there could be a situation where there are videos where we covered multiple different rumors and leaks where some of it's true and some of it's not true because it's from different sources on different aspects. Obviously, I got to come up with some sort of graphic that says, some confirmed, some deconfirmed, some sort of graphic for that. We'll have to figure out. That's very obvious, a very obvious label I could throw on the thumbnail, but I don't know. That's for me to worry about and figure out down the line. But it is something that I want to, try to do for you guys once Switch 2 is unveiled. And I know once it's unveiled, I'm going to be super busy with all the coverage and covering the games and all the news and then all the new news that's going to happen and any new rumors and leaks that could happen along the way. So I know I'm going to be extremely busy, but it is something that I think is important because it does help provide context behind why we cover rumors and leaks, what sort of stuff is true, what sources were true, and what weren't. I think it's very hard for the public to follow and keep up to figure out who's reliable and who's not. Like when you're thinking about this post by FWB BWD, you're going to sit there and go, well, man, if this person is posting the stuff from the Chinese forum, how reliable is the stuff that FWD BWD shares from that forum or from that person? I think it's good to come back to it down the line and just find out, right? I think it's important to find out because it also provides context for not just you guys, but also me on why we may or may not cover certain people in the future. Like if all this ends up being false, as is other things we talked about that FWD, BWD has noticed in the past, then obviously it would be something where we aren't really going to post the things that he puts up anymore, right? So it'd be good to know that you have that context to go back to those videos and see that that stuff wasn't real or that it ends up being real. So I think that's just something the community that follows rumors and leaks would probably appreciate, especially if you're just following the Nintendo stuff over on our channel. All right, that being said, long-winded way to just say we're going to try to make it easier for you to double-check this stuff once it's revealed. All right, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I am Nathaniel Rovagents from Nintendo Prime, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.